Back in the day, Fox Network was known for having unconventional programs that pushed the envelope. One such show was the comedic drama Rock, which made its television debut in August 1991. Starring Charles S. Dutton as the show's lead character, Charles Rock Emerson, the program started as a traditional sitcom about Rock's life as a Baltimore garbage collector, alongside his wife, father, and brother. But what made the show stand out was its dramatic undertones that progressed as the seasons passed by. As the show explored social commentaries about gangs, substance abuse, being black in America, and same-sex marriage, Fox started to back further and further away from a show that had so much promise. Charles told the Baltimore Sun, "If I had just made Rock into another clown show, it would still be on the air." Before we get started, don't forget to scoop up a bag of turkey, bacon, or brisket beef jerky, cheddar bacon popcorn, and butter toffee peanuts from rrgsnacks.com, our online concession stand that has thousands of 5-star reviews. Charles Dutton's early years were spent in reform schools, and after a manslaughter conviction, he spent some time in a Maryland state penitentiary. Following parole, he returned to prison on a weapons offense and began reading a book about plays while in solitary confinement. That sparked his interest in acting, and after putting on a play for his fellow inmates, he knew he had unlocked his passion. Following his 1976 release, he completely turned his life around. He earned a bachelor's degree from Towson State University, and in 1980, he was accepted to Yale School of Drama. From there, he became a fixture on Broadway. After seeing Charles' riveting portrayal of Boy Willie in the stage play The Piano Lesson, in which he earned a Tony nomination, execs at HBO Independent Productions wanted to turn him into a primetime TV star in what they called a black version of The Honeymooners. Charles met with the director and show creator, the late Stan Daniels, and Stan asked him, "Are you ready to commit the next 5 years of your life to television?" Charles agreed, but he set some ground rules. He didn't want any children to appear on the show. He told the Baltimore Sun, "Cosby had 55,000 of them, and I didn't want an Urkel situation." He also wanted to select the core cast members, and he didn't have to look far. He brought in his The Piano Lesson castmates, Carl Gordon to play his dad, and Rocky Carroll to play his brother Joey. They then hired stage actress Ella Joyce to play the role of his wife, Eleanor. Charles and Stan took a trip to Baltimore and talked to a number of city sanitation workers. They were particularly impressed by a man named John Wood. They used him as the inspiration for the main character and called the show Rock, which was Charles's nickname. The show was set in Charles's hometown of Baltimore and was filmed in Los Angeles. The program settled into its 8:30 p.m. Sunday time slot, and viewers were drawn to the hard-working lead character and his house full of treasures he had collected on his garbage route. As Rock and Eleanor worked toward the American dream of purchasing their own home, they tackled subjects pertaining to inner-city life. While the city of Baltimore declared a John Wood Day in August 1991 to honor John after Rock premiered, Charles was wondering if he had made a mistake by signing on to appear on the show. He told the LA Times he was a stage actor and was hoping the directors would provide more guidance to help him develop into a TV actor. He also wasn't too fond of the script. He stated, "I am a serious actor who fancies himself an artist. To some degree, it is hard to do these little one-line jokes at the end of the scene." Season 2 saw the addition of new supporting cast members, Heavy D as Rock's garbage truck partner Calvin, Jamie Foxx as their neighbor Crazy George, and Charles's wife, Debbie Morgan, played their house guest, Linda.
And interestingly enough, after I had been seeing him just for a short while and learned that he had spent all of this time in prison, and it might sound crazy, but there was something that was sort of seductive to me about that.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rocky Carroll, and welcome to Rock Live.
In an unusual move, the sitcom's entire second season was performed live. Behind the scenes, Charles was constantly bumping heads with the white writers and the network execs. They wanted Rock to be lighter and more fun, but Charles insisted that the show continue to touch on the social issues affecting black neighborhoods. Things got even tenser when Martin premiered in August 1992. Martin provided the kind of comedy Fox wanted Rock to explore, but Charles wasn't having it. He told the Baltimore Sun that networks love to reward black actors who played buffoons, all while silencing the voices like his that tried to inject a sense of social conscience into sitcoms about African American life. By the third season, the show was moved from Sunday to Tuesday night at 8 p.m., and they were no longer filming in front of a live audience. Charles was also named executive producer. He also changed his mind about having children in the program. For season 3, Eleanor was pregnant, and they also adopted a teenager played by Alexis Fields. Charles told the Baltimore Sun he continued hearing feedback from people who wanted more humor and less serious topics. Charles wouldn't budge in an effort to maintain the integrity of the show. He said, "That's not what I signed on to do, and they know it." Charles told the Orlando Sentinel Fox started to lose interest after Charles started rewriting episodes involving race. The show's mostly white writers disagreed with him, and Charles called them insensitive to black experiences. The season 3 finale aired in May 1994 and was a follow-up to a critically acclaimed episode that aired in January of that same year titled "Terrence Got His Gun." The show ended with Charles directly asking young African American viewers to stop the violence.
Our own kids are doing what 300 years of slavery couldn't do, what the Ku Klux Klan couldn't do. They're threatening our spirit, breaking our hearts, and destroying us from within.
After the episode aired, the future of Rock was in limbo, and Charles told the Baltimore Sun that he was used to waiting around until the last week of May for the network to decide whether or not they would renew the program. But when he finally heard back, he was told the show was being canceled after 3 seasons. Almost immediately, petitions began circulating across the country to get Rock back on the air, and Fox was placed in the hot seat to explain the cancellation. Network execs claimed they did everything they could to save the show, but in the end, the network claimed Rock was still ranked number 117 among 124 shows. But not everyone was buying what Fox was selling. Charles accused the network of washing its hands of Rock long before the cancellation. He told the Orlando Sentinel the network never promoted the show the same way they promoted Melrose Place and Married with Children. He added, "I just find it interesting that a show Fox always said couldn't find an audience was never showcased in order to gain one." Rock wasn't the only black show that got the boot. South Central, In Living Color, and The Sinbad Show were also canceled. And Charles canceled his relationship as well by filing for divorce from Debbie after 5 years of marriage. 5 months after Rock was canceled, BET aired a never-before-seen episode titled "The Rock That Dreams Are Made Of." In the episode, Charles gives a 6-minute monologue standing in a spotlight on the darkened stage to relive Rock's worst nightmare. Sources state his performance is worthy of a Tony Award. Fox officials declined to comment on why they never aired the episode. But a source familiar with the production said Fox thought it was too downbeat and the subject matter was, quote, "a little touchy," and it would upset their advertisers. While Rock made an impact for a brief moment in time, John Wood, the Baltimore garbage collector who served as inspiration for the main character, met a tragic end. In April 2013, John lost his life at the age of 80 in northeast Baltimore after being punched and falling down a hill and hitting his head on the concrete. A 25-year-old man named Lorenzo Thornton Jr. was arrested in connection with the crime. Looking back on his time on the show, Charles told the Washington Post he was sometimes impatient and arrogant with Fox execs and behaved irresponsibly in the way he communicated with them. But he doesn't have any regrets for standing up for the vision he wanted to convey. He added, "In 73 or 74 episodes of Rock, I don't think there was a moment of buffoonery amid the broad comedy. I look at the reruns now on BET, and I'm still pretty proud." Let us know if you're shocked by what happened to Rock, and thanks for watching RRG.